Now, before doing quadratic equation, we must know what is a quadratic polynomial. Any polynomial of degree 2 is a quadratic polynomial. For example, fx is a polynomial of type ax square plus bx plus c with degree 2. This is a quadratic polynomial. And if we substitute this quadratic polynomial to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. So what is a quadratic equation? It is, general form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That is a quadratic polynomial equated to 0, where a should not be equal to 0. Why? If a is 0, this first term becomes 0. So it will no longer be a quadratic polynomial. It will be a linear polynomial. So the condition is that a should not be equal to 0, and a, b, c, these coefficients, they all are real numbers. We can take any example of quadratic equation, say 8x square minus 22x minus 21. This is a quadratic polynomial, and when it is equated to 0, it becomes quadratic equation because degree of the variable is 2. Now, what do we mean by roots of quadratic equation? What are roots of quadratic equation? These are actually values of x. These are values of the variable x or y which make this quadratic equation 0. So roots, we can say roots or solution. So whenever we solve the quadratic equation, we actually find the roots or solution of equation or values of x which makes the quadratic equation 0. Any quadratic equation can have 2 real roots, at most 2 real roots, not more than 2. Any quadratic equation can have 2 real roots. Now, suppose we have to check whether the given value of x is a solution or root of the equation or not. I'll explain this with an example. Let 6x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0, a quadratic equation, and we want to check whether this value of x, 2 upon 3, is solution of this equation or not. What we do, we will simply substitute the value of x in the given quadratic equation. 6x is now 2 by 3 square minus x is again 2 by 3 minus 2. We have substituted the value of x in the left hand side of the quadratic equation, and we get 6 multiplied by 4 by 9 minus 2 by 3 minus 2. On solving this, we get 0. Yes, which is equal to right hand side. Right hand side of the quadratic equation is 0. So yes, this is the solution of the equation. Similarly, we want to check whether x is equal to 2 is the solution or not. We will put 2 in place of x. In the left hand side, we get 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, multiplied by 6 is 24, minus 2 which is minus 4 is equal to 20, which is not equal to 0, that is right hand side. So x is equal to 2 is not a solution of this given quadratic equation.